We got a Christina Randall coming up next. Let me switch this out. Bam. Oh, we're going to learn about this dude. What the hell did this guy do? Let's find out.
Before I get into telling you guys about this situation,
oh hell, before I get into listening to her get into this situation, make sure you guys go subscribe to Christina Randall. She's pinned down in the description. She's got like 2 million or something like that subscribers, so you probably already are following her, but just in case, check it out, y'all. Let's go.
for my mothers and fathers or parents or grandparents out there that have raised your children, you ever think about when you're in a situation where your little one or your teenager is acting up and you're doing everything that you can or everything that you think that you're supposed to do to put them on the right path. And especially in this day and age, it's such a balancing act, right? Like if you see, them hanging out with friends that may
Leslie, thank you.
be a bad influence, how do you navigate that without making them want to rebel, or how do you take certain things away? That it's like, it's parenting is hard, right? And in this situation, there's a certain spot where this mother talks about all the things that she had been trying. And yeah, but before we talk about Gavon, I want to tell y'all about the seemingly sweetest 98-year-old woman named Margaret Douglas. So Margaret Douglas was born
98
on September 15th of 1919. It's just beautiful to even hear. In Akron, Ohio.
What?
Now, Margaret had 2 sisters and 1 brother, and she loved working in her flower garden. She loved all of the vibrant colors, and Margaret also loved to travel with her husband and her friends. She loved to go and watch the Cleveland Indian games, and she was a big fan. Now, Margaret's husband, Donald, passed away back in May of 2000. They never had any children together, but they had several nieces and nephews that they absolutely adored. Now, this garden that Margaret had that she loved to work in at her home, she had been living in this home for over 50 years. I mean, she knew the neighbors. People would say that they would see her sitting out on her porch and they would wave at her as they drove by. And even though her husband passed in 2000, she still continued to live in this home happily until April 6th of 2018. Now, let me tell y'all about a young man named Gavon who lived in the same neighborhood as Miss Margaret. Gavon Ramsay was born on March 23rd of 2001 to his parents Christine and Stephen. I don't know a lot about his siblings, but I do know that he has brothers. Back in 2018, Gavon was living with his parents just a few houses down from Margaret in Wadesworth, Ohio. Now, there's not a whole lot that I could find about Gavon's upbringing other than the area he lived in.
Oh, hell, you better not, Gavon. Oh, Gavon. You better not do anything to this sweet old lady.
And was your typical middle-class neighborhood, and it seemed that his family was relatively stable. However, as Gavon got into his teen years, he started to get into trouble. I listened to an interview with him and his mother where they were talking about Gavon being with one of his friends. They were going out late at night, climbing on the roof of a church. I even heard his mother say that she had moved his bedroom closer to hers so she could keep an eye on him, and he basically had no social life at this point. And it sounded like his mother Christine and his father were doing everything that they could, even though he was 17, I mean he was almost an adult, to keep him on track and doing the right thing. I mean, he was getting in trouble, but it was mostly little petty crimes. However, even though they were
but that builds up. Man, you crazy as hell. You gotta put your foot down.
Little petty crimes, they would lead
TikTok, hit me with those hearts. Come on.
To an investigation.
Tap the screen like crazy to hit the follow button.
To believe.
Come over to YouTube if you want to watch the video too.
Believe that
The Mystery Project.
Gavon had done something way more than just climbing on the roof of a church. Now, like
Oh,
I said
hell.
before, Margaret and her husband never had any children together, and Margaret's husband passed away back in 2000. So Margaret lived alone. Now, very frequently, her nieces and nephews would come over to check on her. They loved her so much. There was even a neighbor that kept an eye on her as well. So when no one heard from Margaret in a few days, the people that loved Margaret began to worry. They were so
Oh, Lord.
worried that one of her nephews and his wife went to Margaret's house to look for her. When they got there, they looked around, they looked in the backyard, in the garden, they called her name in the house, and she was nowhere to be found. They said that they searched the entire house and there was no sign of her at all. So this is when they ended up calling the police and they reported her missing. Later, as a last-ditch effort, the nephew went back to Margaret's house one last time to look around. Even though he did not see her in any of the rooms or any of the bathrooms, he decided that he was going to look for her favorite shoes, the shoes that he always saw her wearing. So he went to the closets and began to look in them. As he was looking in one closet that had a pile of clothes in there, there was a vacuum cleaner in there, he saw one of her shoes. When he reached to pick up her shoe, he found that it was attached to Margaret. She was unfortunately deceased and had
Oh, my God.
been stuffed in a 1.5 foot by 2.5 foot closet. Completely shocked, as you guys can imagine.
Man, you go burn in hell, Gavin. You better not have done this, but you're the one we're talking about, so you probably did, you sick son of a motherless goat.
And her nephew ended up calling the police back out. Now, as investigators tried to figure out what exactly happened to Margaret, they started thinking about all the other little crimes that had recently been committed in the area. There have been quite a few little crimes that had been reported in this area that both Gavin and Margaret lived in. One was actually a carjacking and a string of car burglaries, for instance.
Hell.
Basically car hopping, going to one car, getting inside of it, rumbling through it, seeing if they could find money or something, going to the next car, Now, the local police were familiar with Gavin because of the crimes that he had committed in the past. So when they heard about him and a friend climbing onto the roof of a local church, they brought them in for questioning, thinking that he was probably involved in the other crimes as well.
No, we snuck out. Well, I snuck out. He's 18. So we were just walking around. He didn't even drive. We just walked.
Oh, he walked from his house in Euclid?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, jeez.
And then we met up at Durling, and we weren't really doing anything. Then we went over to the church and climbed on top.
Okay.
And then we went into the courtyard, but that's all we did.
Man, you sound crazy as hell. Plus, the cop back there looks like Mike from Breaking Bad. I wouldn't want to do anything crazy because that dude looks like he about to show up at your house in the middle of the night. Wait. Isn't that how that song goes? Somebody else in the middle of the night. Never mind.
Now,
I need sleep.
you did more. Unfortunately, you guys have left behind some very telling items. Okay.
Oh man, the mom looks mad as hell too.
If we're gonna get to the bottom of this, let's just make it the truth all at once. Let's deal with it and get it done.
You're 17.
Yeah. You're a kid, so you're not looking at as much trouble as Gavin. We've had some really serious things happen in your neighborhood and in that area. Okay.
Oh hell.
We had a carjacking.
Oh my God.
And the suspect is a young white male.
What the hell? Mom said, "Oh my God."
With a nice complexion and blue eyes. Is that you?
No, it's not me. I wouldn't know the first thing about jacking a car.
Well, it's a little more to the story, but, you didn't take anybody's car?
What the hell? That dude said, "I would know the first thing about taking someone's car." So you didn't say, "No, I didn't do it." You just said, "No, I would know the first thing about." What are you talking about? Car? What the hell is a car? I still ride horses. I got a damn carriage I pull around. I do them rides in the middle of town, you know? You get on a horse and it pulls you around. Car? Like motor vehicle? Oh my God. What are you watching the Jetsons? How'd you even say that? Car?
Have you ever used an app called Grindr?
No,
How do you feel about gay people?
I'm not gay.
Oh, well, that's okay. Everybody,
What the hell did that have to do with anything?
they don't bother you?
No, nobody bothers me.
Okay. I'm just, some of the victims of these crimes
Man, you bother me
are
with your crazy.
gay, and I didn't know if it was
Oh,
a
Lord.
hate crime kind of thing. Right. You're being victimized only because of their sexual orientation.
During his questioning, you may have noticed that the investigators asked Gavon if he was familiar with an app called Grindr.
Oh, Lord.
They asked him this because they had received a report from a man that claimed that he had met Gavon on Grindr, and this guy said that when he went to go and meet up with Gavon, he says that Gavon stole his car. Now,
oh man, you crazy as hell. You over here trying to get some. God, I can't even say those words. What? How do you make that TikTok appropriate? Glory cylinders.
You what?
We're trying to get some of that glory cylinder action, and you steal the man's car. Man, this is crazy as hell. I feel like this is about to take a crazy turn, isn't it? This is about to take a crazy turn. Look, Christina Randall's shocked too. Christina Randall's face right now, she is in sheer panic. By the way, y'all make sure you come over to YouTube. The Mystery Project. The Mystery Project on YouTube if you want to watch the video. Let's go.
as you saw, initially, Gavon said that he had never used that app. But after some time went by, Gavon asked his mom and the male investigators to step out of the room so he could admit to the female investigator that he actually did use that app, Grindr.
I think you two actually leave for a second.
What's that?
You two actually leave. So I can talk to her.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, damn. The mom's like, crap, he's got that app. She goes, I knew this charge on my damn card. He tried to tell me he bought a blender, and the name of the blending company was Grindr. Brady, thank you. Y'all, 8 more. Let's get it. Come on. Hit me with them real quick. You like this? If you laughed at any of that stuff, there's the hearts right there.
The carjacking, it was me. I'm going to be honest about it, but the way that he explained it, that guy, that's not right. Grindr thing, yeah, I have been on it. And this guy was like the first time that this happened, and I told him, like, I was 17 and everything, and I wasn't planning on doing anything with him. It's not my stuff.
Man, you crazy as hell. You're not even 18 years old, man. Get on a site like that.
I was just like, he's a 40-year-old man trying to get with a 17-year-old, so I was just gonna rob him. It's still.
Man, he was about to pull a Cardi B on that dude. He said, "Did you hear that?" He said, "I was about to just take his stuff that doesn't belong to me. I was going to take that stuff from him." He was about to go all Cardi B on him. Man, that is crazy.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
Let's keep it going.
Messed up, but against what he's doing, I really think it is. And then the whole carjacking thing, I never even left Overlook. I literally, like, I got in, and he's like, "What, should we go to the back seat?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So he got out. I sit and locked the doors, and hopped in the driver's seat and just drove around, messed with him, and then I left.
Man, that is crazy. Did you hear what he said? He said, it's kind of hard to hear, but he said the dude, he met up with him. They drive somewhere. The dude's like, hey, you want to get in the back seat? This kid's like, yeah. The dude gets out. The kid just locks the doors, gets over the driver's seat, and then takes off. Can you imagine the guy in the car? He's probably like, man, this is crazy.
So then you got out and left?
Yeah, I didn't damage the car. I didn't.
Well, we knew it was there, when he finally walked somewhere to get a phone. And we knew there was something more to the story that he wasn't telling us.
Yeah, I didn't damage any of the stuff. I just...
Why were you on that app?
You just stole it.
Really, just for that reason, to find guys that are that low of people, I guess.
That want to get with you.
Find guys that are not well? What?
Mm-hmm. Like, it's karma, really.
So, as you can
Karma? Man, you sound crazy.
imagine, this investigator is realizing that Gavon has a lot more going on than he is saying. So she decides to ask Gavon and his mother about Margaret's passing.
Oh, hell. Yeah, because he's out there trying to take money from people. Where does it stop, Gavon?
Sure, you guys know about the elderly woman that was found.
Oh my God, that was horrifying. That was horrifying.
Man, that's your son, lady. That was horrifying. Yeah. And it was the kid sitting next to you that did it?
It is horrifying.
Did you know her at all?
No, I was just
Lindsay,
seeing her out, like on a porch. That actually makes me want to cry. Like, how do you get to be 98 years old?
You're born 98 years from the day that it is?
Nobody lives to be 98. It's so rare. And someone else thought that that was okay. Like, how does that... I don't know. Like, why does your life end like that?
Probably because of your crazy son.
Gavon, do you know anything about it?
No, honestly, probably 5 or 6 people.
That you talked to? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, hey, he's breaking down. The mom is like, oh, no. Where's the violin music coming from? I just noticed there's like violin music.
Is there something else you need to tell us?
Man, I'm about to hit it with some crime music.
What's upsetting you so much? I've been doing this for a little while, and I have a whole gaggle of children of my own, ranging from...
Did she say she has a gaggle of children?
6 all the way down to 10, so I'm pretty good with this stuff.
Now, of course, Gavon claimed that he had nothing to do with Margaret's passing, but his emotions and body language was clearly showing something different. So the investigators asked Gavon's mom if she can do a forensic download of Gavon's phone. Gavon's mom agrees, and once that's done,
Oh, hell.
they both go
Because he's 17, technically she has custody of it.
home. However, even with the body language that he was showing in this room with this
Oh, hell.
investigator and his mother,
Jerry, that's what Cardi B, she admitted to doing that. She'd get guys to come into her, like meet her at a hotel or something, and she just like robbed them. She admitted to doing that on an interview. It was crazy as hell.
they had no idea what they were going to find on Gavon's phone. When the forensic download came back and they began to go through the contents that was on Gavon's phone, they found pictures and videos of Margaret before and after she passed away in a
Man, you are crazy.
secret app called Dark. It was locked with a password. The password was murder. After getting into Gavon's phone, investigators realized that Gavon had actually strangled Margaret with his hands and then SA'd her after the fact.
You gonna burn in hell for that one. What the hell? Y'all, if you're a member on YouTube, hit us with the shocked Barbie face. What the hell?
Gavon spent no less than 2 hours at Margaret's house after she had already crossed over to the other side. Now, I'll spare you all of the details, but what I will say is when the investigators first searched Margaret's house after her body had been discovered, they found an open jar of jelly. It was concluded that this jar of jelly was used in a way.
Not like grape jelly. Is she talking about the other jelly? Rhymes with petroleum. Man, you're sick, dude. You are gonna burn in hell for this.
Yeah, like that. Gavon also left behind a glove that was eventually tested, and it tested positive for his DNA on the inside and Margaret's DNA on the outside. At this point, Gavon was brought back in for a second interview.
I know telling me about it doesn't give you much relief.
Just change the fact that it ruined my life.
What happened to you, Margaret's underwear?
The hell did she just say? What happened to her? What?
Her.
Right?
There was a bit of an altercation.
So did you kind of wrestle with her then?
A bit of an altercation, man. You are crazy. Tamara, we talked about John Paul earlier. That was the first case. Des, you know, you got to look for The Mystery Project on YouTube. The Mystery Project. That's the YouTube channel. The Mystery Project. That's the true crime YouTube channel.
A little bit. Like, it was off the couch.
On the floor? And her underwear got torn then?
Yeah, we got ripped.
And did you use one hand or both?
Both.
Did you squeeze it or push her against the floor or both?
Both.
Hang on a second. Lex is trying to get my attention. Lex, just text me.
Oh.
What?
You know how you got
I'm busy. What?
tiny Coke things?
You want a Coke?
Not a Coke, the gummy Coke things you got.
Oh, the candy? You
Yeah.
want candy right now? Get out of here.
Please.
I'll get you some candy in a minute. Get out of here. Get out of here. That's my little dude. He wants candy. Yeah, Robux. That's what he wants. Damn Robux.
And you said you don't remember if she was bleeding at that point.
Well, I mean, one reason I can think of bleeding is when I put my hand over her mouth.
So when you were holding her hand over her mouth, you might have pushed too hard and maybe made her nose bleed.
Yeah.
Were you in her house for a
Damn.
little while before you woke her up?
I mean, I came up on the porch, and I didn't even know what I was gonna do. And I looked in the window and everything. I don't know, I felt like going into a house is like the biggest adrenaline rush I could get. Like, so then I tried the doorknob and that just happened to be unlocked.
Was it the front door or back door?
Or back door.
Okay. So you went in.
Oh, hell.
But
TV on or something? When you went in?
I don't think so.
Headed up the house, you didn't hear it or something? Or something.
Well, she was already asleep whenever I went in, because when I came around the corner, that's where I saw her, and it scared me. Because I didn't expect to see someone right there. So I didn't hear anything.
It's all good, y'all. It's too late for him to have candy anyways.
So I came in, like, I opened the door, I just listened. And then I didn't hear anything, so maybe nobody's home. And then I go to walk around that corner, and I'm still going slow, but I see her, and she's, I don't know, like sleeping or something. And then I go to turn around and hit the chair, and it made a noise, and she woke up.
And she started to scream at that point, you said?
Yeah, because, like, when I hit the chair, I, like, turned back around, and I looked, and she was there staring at me and started to yell. And then went for the phone. She heard me what it looked like.
Were you trying to get like when she went for the phone? Is that when you were trying to get the phone away from her so she could call? Did you knock that guy away, or did you guys fight with the phone?
It was like a little bit of a fight, I think I threw it under the couch. I'm not really sure.
You guys ended up on the floor
Man, this is crazy.
at that point?
Yeah, I don't even know where the phone went.
You said you guys were on the floor, like her gown, the floor.
Wendy, thank you.
Yeah, because she was still,
Well, her underwear, I guess.
I don't even know if she was wearing underwear.
Okay.
Because when she was on the couch, like, she grabbed the phone and everything. It was still, like, yelling, and I don't know if she dialed anything yet or not, but I just didn't know what to do, and then that happened. By the time I even realized what I was doing.
Yeah, y'all, sorry, the audio is pretty terrible. They have it subtitles on YouTube. I'll move y'all a little closer.
It was too late to stop anything.
Yeah, there's a couple of videos of you kind of peeking over the edge of the couch and videotaping her. When was that all done?
That was all the same night.
If she was here alive in front of you, what would you say to her?
I'm sorry. That was never meant to happen.
Damn, she basically said, like, if she was alive in front of you, what would you say to her? He said, I'm sorry. All because he wanted, like, money or something? Man, you suck. Go get a job. Go work at Starbucks. Like, go do anything. You'll break into a 98-year-old woman's house?
If I could take it back, I would.
Now, in the meantime,
Well, you can't. It's not a video game. So now go spend your life in prison, you piece of garbage.
Gavin's home was being searched. During the search, investigators found one of Gavin's journals that had some, let's just say, dark ideations in it. In this journal, Gavin mentioned several times that he wanted to know how it felt to take someone's life. Now,
Dear God.
after Gavin had been taken separately, this is when the investigators
Yeah, he was only 17.
went and spoke with Gavin's mother and father alone. They told them what they found in Gavin's phone. And when I saw this, his mother seemingly was in complete shock. The father seemed to be in shock at first, but then he completely broke down. Check this out.
All the phone contained images of Margaret before and after her death, as well as videos of your son with her.
Okay.
Engaging in sex with her. Was she still alive when he was doing that? No, I don't believe. Oh my God.
Oh, no. That mom is... The dad actually freaked the hell out. The mom was more like, What?
This isn't happening. This isn't real.
This isn't happening. This is real. Oh, it's real.
58 years old. Just living out her days. And here's my son. My son is. And I'm bothering all these people out here. And it's my son.
When I saw that, y'all, that was just such a genuine reaction. The way that he was externally
But how do you not know that your son is capable of that? Like, do you just not spend any time with him? Or like you don't talk to him? You don't see what's going on in his life? Like you just don't care? And then all of a sudden this happens, you're like, how could he do that?
processing, like this
He was 17.
woman made it 98 years in my son. Like that's the way he was processing it. It was just so, I mean, devastating, obviously for Miss Margaret's family as well and her. But watching the parents process that like that is just
Heartbreaking.
whoa. Now, Gavon was arrested and he was charged with aggravated murder, burglary, kidnapping, and abuse of a corpse. At trial, he was
Oh, you gonna burn in hell.
convicted and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. He received an additional 10 years for each of the other counts. Now, Gavon did get up and speak at his sentencing hearing, though.
His name was Gavon Ramsay.
I'm so sorry for what I did. I constantly live in regret and shame because of it.
And Margaret's family was completely relieved when they found out that Gavon would be spending the rest of his life in prison. However, that relief did not last too long because just 3 years after Gavon was sentenced, a bill was introduced to the Ohio Supreme Court that allowed a person tried for a crime or any crime when they're under the age of 18 to be eligible for parole after serving 25 to 35 years of their original sentence, which is
why
you think they could be 17 years, 364 days when they commit this crime and they would fall under this bill. So as you can imagine, Margaret's family was completely horrified at the thought of Gavon getting out. This is a public letter that Margaret's niece wrote asking that Gavon remained in prison. Now, I am not going to link these sources because I definitely do not want to encourage anybody to, whatever. But when I was researching, I found Gavon like now, I mean, he's in prison, right? Like different things. And I don't know, you guys. I don't know. Now, I did see that he ended up being diagnosed. So they said at first that he had no mental illness. And I saw...
What? Man, you crazy as hell.
You what?
What is wrong with these people? Of course he had a mental illness. People that are perfectly healthy and mentally stable and fine, everything like that, don't break into people's houses, take their lives, and then do other things with the body. You are crazy as hell to think that he didn't have any kind of mental illness.
All that the state's attorney said that he had no mental illness, but he had mental disturbances, which for any of y'all that have been watching me for any period of time, we talk about this all the time. You can have mental illness, mental disturbances, all of that. That does not mean you're not going to get found guilty if you know right from wrong, Obviously, anybody that could do anything of the sort, anybody that could sit around and think about these things and fantasize about them, much less act them out, you got mental disturbances, honey. Something's wrong.
Yep, that part.
There, okay? That something ain't clicking and firing right. But once he was examined by the courts, like forensic psychologist, he got diagnosed with 7 different diagnoses, and one of them being a sexual sadist, okay? And they did not just go by the journals. They went by the conversations that they were having with him. I had so many thoughts like, did he walk by and see Miss Margaret sitting on her porch, 98 years old, 98 beautiful years to live that long, lived in that house for 50 years. Did he walk by, see her sitting on the porch? She probably waved at him being all sweet. And he was thinking in his mind, one day I'm going to get over there.
Oh, hell.
One day I'm going to do this. Like, and in 25 years to 35 years, he could get out. And if Ohio upholds this and allows him out in 25 years, I hope to God and I pray, Lord, please, in the name of Jesus, they have done some sort of rehabilitation and they're not just going by time.
You can't rehabilitate something like that.
Because you take somebody that's in this situation that does this type of thing, then you put them in prison with other people just like them and no type of help.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. Wendy, thank you.
And you re-let them back.
Alexandra, thank you.
Back out. We've seen these types of situations before. If you want to know my opinion, the first thing I want to say is it seemed like just from what we saw, obviously I don't know all the details, that the parents were trying with him. He was 17 and the mother was already changing all these things, trying to keep him on the right path, trying to keep structure in his life. And he still got out and did what he did. I also appreciated from an outsider looking in the compassion that the parents, especially the father that we saw in that video, immediately showing sympathy and compassion to the victim, to Miss Margaret, versus trying to immediately take up for their son. Oh, he wouldn't do that, He immediately was, it was for Margaret, which I thought that could show what kind of character his parents had. As far as it comes,
yeah, but why didn't that get like instilled in him? What happened there?
With him, Gavon himself, unless there's some sort of magical thing behind the scenes that I don't know about, I don't think he should be getting out. I think that he could be very dangerous on the street.
Yeah.
25 years goes by like this.
Man, that is crazy. 25 years. He could be back out. What the hell's wrong with these people? Disgusting. Burn in hell. Gavon, burn in hell. YouTube, I love you guys. Hit the thumbs up button before you go. You're going to get, when this ends, you'll get kicked over to the haunted side. Go watch some ghost hunting stuff. It looks like I'm in an old antique store on that episode. So you guys go enjoy that. Love you guys. Have a great night. And hit that little thumbs up button. See you tomorrow.